Hi guys! Welcome to my Pregnancy Wednesday vlog. So today, one of the things that I wanted to talk about, more for myself probably than anyone else, is pregnancy worry and how to deal with or cope with worries that you have while you're pregnant. Specifically talking about being pregnant and you know, just worries that you have about your baby and what's happening to your body while you're pregnant. I'm not going to talk about worries, future worries, like the birth and the labor or how to be a good parent. I'm not going to talk about that today in this vlog. I will probably do a different vlog on that at another time. But today, I just wanted to talk about general pregnancy worry because it's something that all pregnant women have to deal with, including myself, which I have been dealing with this week, just being worried. So I wanted to talk about that today. At this point, I'm around 21 weeks pregnant. If you wonder why I'm saying around 21 weeks, it's because of my due date, just the different due dates that I've been given and what I found for myself. So if you're curious about that, you can watch my last week's video about my due date and why I don't know, or I'm not going to say I'm exactly 21 weeks and 2 days. I'm not going to say that. So I'm a little bit over 21 weeks at this point, and I've been worrying a lot recently. I like to consider myself a realist. So as I always say, in any situation, well, I want to be prepared for something if something bad could go wrong. I always want to be prepared for that. So in any situation, I always think, well, this is great, but something bad could happen. I'm pregnant, but in my opinion, I don't have the baby until the baby's in my arms. And even then, it's a little baby and things can happen, things can go wrong. So I always have that in the back of my mind. And Alvin's like, you're such a worrier, you worry all the time, you just worry about everything. And that may be true, that I do worry more than most people. I have a lot of friends that have been pregnant and it looks like they just go through their pregnancy like not a care in the world. And I think that's fantastic because worrying is not helpful for you in your pregnancy. It does not help the baby, it does not help you, it's just not helpful and it's not going to do anything for you. So the first thing I want to talk about with worry, and this is like advice for myself, try not to worry. Try to just relax about being pregnant. Try to relax, try to enjoy it if you can. If you can't, try. Honestly, try. That's the first tip, and that's advice from me. The reason that I've been worrying lately, I will tell you, is because I have an anterior fundal placenta, so it's kind of on the top but mostly in the front this pregnancy. With Emmeline, it was also a full anterior placenta. Emmeline didn't move very much. She was fine. She moved her arms and legs, but she did not rotate her body ever. It just never happened. And so it was really difficult for me to keep track of her movements, and I had to do kick counts multiple times a day and so on and so on. This baby, I have been able to feel on and off since 13 weeks. I know it seems very early, but if you have a second baby and you really pay attention, I do believe you can sometimes feel it very early on. That's a different story. So I've been feeling this baby move, and I think maybe 4 days ago, for 3 days in a row, I felt him move constantly throughout the day. He was kicking and turning and doing so much, and I was like, okay, finally, I'm feeling him. I'm 21 weeks along. I'm gonna feel him every day. This is just how he is. He's an active baby. And then it started to taper off. I felt a little bit less, and a little bit less, and a little bit less. And then come yesterday, I barely felt him move at all, and today I felt him move a little bit this morning, but I'm not feeling him move to the degree that I did 4 days ago. It's normal. It is normal at this point to not have, for the baby to not have a rhythmic not really rhythmic, but not have a pattern of when the baby moves at this point. It's normal for some women to not even feel their baby move yet. That's completely normal. Even in second pregnancies, I do have an anterior fundal placenta, so that could also be something that is affecting it, or maybe his position. I can already tell that I know his position is facing probably in and down to my body, because where I do feel kicks or movement, it's like inside my body in a place you would never feel anything. So that can also make a difference. But I have been worrying about it. Last night I sat there to Alvin and I was like, I'm so worried, he's not moving, something has to be wrong. And Alvin's like, you need to relax, you are 21 weeks pregnant, this is totally normal at this point. And you know what, baby's position changes, maybe they're tired, maybe it's going through a growth spurt and they don't move as much. Oh, that's why I wanted to make this vlog. To make somebody else feel better, maybe. This has happened 3 times before where I've started to feel him move a lot and then it's just tapered off for a while. And then I start to feel him move again and then again it's tapered off. So it's not unusual for me to be experiencing this. So the first advice that I have for everyone who is pregnant, if you are worried and you're dealing with anxiety and stress just about the baby, is everything okay? Just try to relax. It's good for all of us. It really is. Something I have found extremely helpful throughout this pregnancy and the previous pregnancy with Emmeline is join a birth club. I think babycenter.com and babycenter.co.uk you can join, and it has a birth month club. So the month, your due month for that year, you can join a club, and it's full of women who are pregnant pretty much the same time you are. Their babies are all going to be born in that month. So join a birth month club. I know there's a bunch of them. I know Baby Center has one, and I think there's, I don't know the other websites, I'm sorry. Net Moms, I think, possibly. Join it because you can talk to other women about what's going on. If you have a question, if you have a worry, if you have a concern, or you just want to say hi and connect to other moms because you're the only one around you that's pregnant. Do it. It is so nice to have a sense of community of people that are going through the same thing you're going through at the same time. Because sometimes when you are pregnant, you can kind of feel a little bit like you're doing it on your own. Your husband or your boyfriend, if you're with them, or your girlfriend or your wife, they might not understand what you're going through because they're not going through it themselves right now, or they haven't gone through it, and each pregnancy is very individual and very different, and I totally understand. Sometimes I feel completely alone because Alvin doesn't understand what I'm going through, and he can't. He honestly can't because he's a man and he will never have a baby. Like, he just can't get pregnant. Having that is really, it's very reassuring. Also, if I have, when I wasn't feeling movement, for example, I had started feeling it and I wasn't feeling it until later on, I can go and say, is anyone else the same way? And tons of other women will come back and be like, I haven't felt anything until 25 weeks and this is my 2nd pregnancy. And it just makes you feel a little bit better. The same with any weird pregnancy symptoms that you're having, whatever they could be, you can say, does anyone else feel this way? I'm a little embarrassed. You know, you can be totally raw and open with these women because they're gonna totally embrace what you're going through, and they're just going to automatically care for you because you're going through the same thing that they're going through. I definitely recommend join a birth club. I'm a member of one. I was last pregnancy and this pregnancy. It's fantastic. Just join one. It's my second way of dealing with worry and anxiety in pregnancy. It's find a support group. It doesn't have to be your friends and family. It can be an online group as well. This is something that I felt really bad about doing when I was pregnant with Emmeline. Calling your midwife or your doctor if you really have a genuine concern. Don't feel bad about it. Don't feel bad about ringing up the hospital because of lack of movement if you're beyond 24 weeks, because I don't think the hospital will let you come in if you're before that. But don't feel bad about doing it. If you think something is wrong, if you genuinely believe something is not right, you need to be firm on that and keep pushing till you get help, if that's what you think you need. If you have a question, something weird or embarrassing is happening with you, maybe you're having bladder problems, I don't know, anything can happen when you're pregnant, you're growing another human. Call your doctor. Don't feel bad about it. Do not feel embarrassed. They don't judge you. They don't care. They have seen it over and over again, and they want you to have a healthy pregnancy, and they want you to have healthy babies. So they deal with it every day. Do not feel bad about calling. If you need to call because for any reason, just call them. I mean, even if you think it's stupid or silly or you're overreacting, no, just call them, talk to them, be honest, be open, and tell them. It's just really important. That's what they're there for, right? You don't have to do it on your own. Another thing you can do to help yourself feel better when you are pregnant, if you're dealing with worry and anxiety, is to know what problems could happen and know the warning signs and the symptoms for these problems. If you know this is a symptom for this issue. Okay, let me call my doctor. Sit down with your doctor or your midwife, talk to them and say, what are the potential problems that could happen? What are the warning signs and the symptoms? If you know them, if you're genuinely very, very worried, even though it's very rare, and you know the symptoms, you might be able to get help, and it could help you if something bad is indeed happening, like a placental abruption for some, for some reason, which is quite rare, but if it does happen, you know the warning signs. So know what they are, know the warning signs. Another thing you can do to help with pregnancy, which I know no one is going to listen to this if you are pregnant, and I know that I do it all the time, but you shouldn't. Stay off of Google. Do not go Google searching all this stuff. It's going to make you terrified. The internet is full of so much information, and anyone can put it up there. Look at me, I'm putting this up there, right? Just don't go Googling problems, don't go Googling issues. Try not to do it. I know that you're gonna do it. I know you're gonna do it, right? I do it, and I shouldn't, because then I just think, oh my god, the world is over and everything's wrong. Just try not to. Honestly, the doctor told me, I was reading a thread once, and the doctor, she told her doctor I was on Google and thought everything was wrong because she had something, I don't know, there was just something little that had shown up, and she read into it that it was the end of the world and the baby had all these problems, and the doctor was like, no, everything's fine, this just means this, you're fine, don't worry. And he was like, why did you get so worried? And she's like, well, I Googled it. And he's like, Google is a house of lies. I'm gonna pause that, some kind of house of lies, if you can figure it out. And he's like, stay off of Google. If you have a serious question or a serious concern, call your doctor or your midwife, talk to them about it first. Or if you are going to Google it, just remember that you're Googling it and it's going to show you worst case scenario and a horror story here and horror story there. That's why you should use your birth club maybe first. Women who have had babies who are currently in the same situation might be better, I don't know. The final thing that I have to say about this is, if you have a genuine problem, like everyone's worried during pregnancy. Some woman told me when I was pregnant with Emmeline, welcome to a lifetime of worry. This is how pregnancy is. The second you get pregnant, you start worrying, and then when you become a parent, you don't stop worrying ever. It's just how it works. But sometimes you might have an actual problem, like an anxiety problem that is kicking in while you're pregnant. This could be very unhealthy for you and very unhealthy for your pregnancy. If you notice you're having a serious problem with it, where you're crying and you can't focus and all you can think about is being worried, and if you notice that this is not normal, this is a serious problem with it I'm feeling, you need to get help. You need to go to your doctor, you need to go to your midwife, and you need to tell them how you're feeling, and you need to get help, because it's not good for you to be going through a pregnancy being worried and terrified the entire time that something's gonna go wrong. That's not normal, it's not healthy for you, it's not fun for you. You need to go get help. I think health visitors in England can help you with that as well. But if you notice that it's a serious problem the way you're feeling, please go to your doctor or your midwife and talk to them. Don't feel bad about it. When you are pregnant, there's nothing to feel bad about. Everything changes. Your body changes. Your mind goes through changes. Every single thing is different. It's very difficult for a lot of people. It's difficult for everyone, I think, to some degree. But don't feel bad about going to the doctor, and don't feel guilty, and don't feel stupid. Don't feel like a bad person or a bad mother. Don't do that to yourself. Go to the doctor and get help. Okay? It's the best thing you can do. I think that's it really in terms of how to cope with being worried while you're pregnant. For some people, it may be more difficult to be pregnant than others. If you've lost a baby or you've had a miscarriage or something's gone wrong, it might be easier for you to worry about this pregnancy. And I totally understand that, or when you are pregnant, but try not to be worried. I will try not to be worried. I'm gonna go and trying to be positive and just assume that everything is going to work out well, because most of the time it does. I always, though, have for myself as a protection that something could happen. So if it does happen, I kind of knew in a way, oh, maybe that something could go wrong. That might not work for everyone, but I do think you just need to try and be positive during your pregnancy. Try not to be worried. Try to enjoy it. Try to bond with your pregnancy or your baby if that's something that works for you. I've heard that it can really be helpful for some people. So just enjoy it. And I hope you've enjoyed this pregnancy vlog today. I will be back again next week with something. Every Saturday or Sunday, I try to post, no, I do post every Saturday, Sunday. I will post my weekly bump update on my blog, so you can look in the information below and you can find the link for that if you're interested. And if not, I will see you guys on Friday. Have a good week. Bye. I have to look at my phone again. Something I found